On a busy highway, amidst a line of cars and noisy pedestrians, an unusual scene was unfolding. In the center is a man who could be called a successful person, sitting on the road next to his car, bleeding from his chest, clearly injured. His face is hidden, but from his posture and condition, one can sense that he is an important figure. Next to him is a little girl with pigtails, holding a bright leaf of lettuce in her hand, as if it were a symbol of something important and magical. In her hand, a golden halo glows, as if she possesses some magical power. In the distance, a line of people is watching the situation, which creates the feeling that this is not just an accident, but some kind of important event. Beginning of the story, the man is the CEO of a large corporation, a man respected and feared in the business world. He was on his way home after a long day at work, when his car suddenly found itself in the middle of an accident. At the moment when he stopped at the crossroads, he was suddenly surrounded by people with slogans and protests. He recognized them as activists speaking out against his company. Suddenly, a girl came out of the crowd, seemingly out of nowhere. The little girl with a bright suit and long braids seemed not at all afraid of what was happening. In her hand, she held a large leaf of lettuce, and around her shone a mysterious light, as if magic itself surrounded her. She raised the leaf high and, as if casting a spell, created a bright glow. At that moment, the man felt something ignite in his chest, pain, but at the same time, some kind of inner awakening. What happened next? The girl approached the man and, holding out her hand, said in a quiet but confident voice, "This must all end. You must understand that kindness and honesty are stronger than any power." The woman, who was probably his secretary or colleague, tried to help him, but he was already in a state of severe pain. At that moment, he felt that he was being overcome not only by physical pain, but also by internal resistance. After all, he always tried to keep everything under control, to hide his weaknesses. The little girl, holding a lettuce leaf, as if a symbol of new strength, created an aura of light around herself and the man. Images began to appear inside this radiance. Memories of his childhood, dreams, people he had offended or lost. At that moment, he realized his life is not only business, money, and power, but also an opportunity to change his destiny, to help others, to become better. The culmination suddenly. A man in dark clothes came out of the crowd. It was one of his competitors or enemies who wanted to take advantage of the situation for his own purposes. He tried to seize the light created by the girl in order to use it for his own interests. But the girl, not giving up, raised her hand and created a golden light shield around herself. The man, despite the pain, felt strength and determination inside himself. He realized that he did not want to live by the old rules anymore. He wanted to change his life and correct his mistakes. At the moment when the enemy tried to throw off the shield, the light around the girl flared brighter, and he was thrown back, losing his balance. At that moment, the man, with his last strength, rose up and, despite the blood and pain, stood up. He realized that his path was just beginning, the path to redemption and change. Conclusion. After this incident, the man decided to change his life. He realized that true strength is not in power or money, but in sincerity, kindness, and the ability to help others. He began to work on himself, correct his mistakes, help those in need. The little girl disappeared as mysteriously as she had appeared, leaving behind only light and a sense of hope. The people gathered around saw in this not just an accident, but a sign of change, the power of good and faith in a bright future. The man, wounded but overcoming the pain, moved on, knowing that there was magic within him that could change the world.